Hello! The secret agents of the Men in Black organization, which controls the affairs of aliens on Earth, encounter yet another criminal from outer space. Boris, nicknamed the Animal, wants to interfere with the passage of time itself and regain the years lost in confinement that Agent K had taken from him. Only his faithful partner, Agent J, can stop the catastrophe, along the way solving many mysteries of the past. But he has no idea what price he will pay for saving his friend and the planet. A dangerous criminal locked up in prison is visited by his friend Lily. She has a huge cake with her, which the guards check for contraband, but find only harmless organic substances. Because of his ugly appearance and character, the guards refer to the prisoner as Boris the Animal. He is the last surviving member of an aggressive alien race of Boglodites, who, like locusts, have been devouring entire worlds. After a disgusting cross-species kiss, a creature resembling a giant spider, armed with sharp paws, emerges from Lily's cake. The monster is also capable of launching spikes with extreme accuracy and speed, taking the guards by surprise. The little helper frees his master from his shackles and crawls right into his palm, where there's a special spot for it. Boris and his girlfriend search for a way out, along the way killing another prisoner, Obadiah Price, who had known about their escape plans. They find a blaster and blow up the wall, causing the entire garrison of the lunar prison to be carried away into outer space. Lily also hangs on by a thread.
Sorry, darling. We did love the cake.
The Boglodite has special spikes on his legs that allow him to cling to any surface. He escapes from prison with the intention of returning the favor to an old enemy, Agent K. Back on Earth, the same K and his partner J discover a flying saucer that came from the moon. It landed in the middle of a busy New York street, and the Men in Black agents erase the memory of this incident with the neuralizer. Having completed the case, Jay pesters his old friend for his lack of emotion, even on a day like this.
It's the man's eulogy. You're gonna have to show some feeling. You know that thing that human people do when they change the expression on their face?
Zed, under whose command Kay had worked for 40 years, passed away. At the agency's solemn farewell, the agent's speech is unbelievably scant, which cannot be said of the speech delivered by the grieving alien. Zed's replacement, Agent O, quotes her. While the agents are on their way back from a funeral, they get a message about people infected with alien parasites. Kay and Jay go to the place that serves food of questionable quality from other planets, and Boris visits Obadiah Price's son, with whom he did his sentence on the moon. He leaves out the part about the plight of his father, who knew too much, and says he wants to go back in time to kill Agent K.
I'm going back in time to kill a man before he takes my arm.
At the same time, the agents arrive at the restaurant run by an alien, Mr. Wu, disguised as a Chinese. In the back room, they discover illegal alien goods. Among the delicacies, Kay notices Boris's favorite dish and stays at the restaurant to investigate. Gradually, only the aliens remain in the establishment, who suddenly attack the men. But Kay was prepared for such a turn of events, so the agents start shooting back at the assailants. The confrontation continues in the back room, where Jay takes on the unfriendly staff and then defeats a huge exotic fish with his bare hands, while Kay discovers the breathless Wu, who has been nailed to the wall with spikes. He climbs to the roof of the building, where Boris the Animal is already waiting for him. He has been waiting more than 40 years to exact his revenge for the day when Kay, still young, robbed him of his arm and put him under arrest. The Boglodite attacks. Jay shows up just in time to shield his partner from the spikes with the door. Together, they hurry down from the roof.
You don't know it, Kay, but you're already dead.
Boris leaves, leaving Kay to regret that he did not finish off the dangerous criminal in the past. The agent is greatly disturbed by Boris's return and hastily leaves alone, even rudely dismissing Jay, who is eager to help his partner solve the problem. Jay is hurt, but he's not going to just sit idly by and make some inquiries at the agency. It turns out that Boris has committed a series of alien murders on Earth, and Kay caught him and installed the ArcNet defense system. It prevented the Boglodites from taking over the planet, which led to their extinction. But what happened at Cape Canaveral, where the final confrontation between Kay and Boris took place? Is it impossible to find out? His access to it is denied, despite Jay's highest rank in the agency. Both the supervisor Agent O and Agent K believe that it's better for Jay not to know anything about it, and flatly refuse to give even a hint as to why they're behaving this way. In the evening, Kay is in his apartment waiting for Boris to arrive, but instead, the unexpected happens. He himself and all his belongings disappear, and Jay begins to suffer from dizziness and headaches on the other side of town. The next morning, instead of his partner, Jay finds a mother with many children in his apartment. And at headquarters, it turns out that no one has heard anything about Agent K, as if he had never existed. Jay assumes it's all a prank, and only Agent O realizes who the guy is looking for. She informs him that Kay died heroically in a fight with Boris 40 years ago. Jay manages to convince the woman that he really did know the agent who died so long ago, and the guy's specific attraction to chocolate milk gives the supervisor an indication that someone has caused a temporal rift. Their conversation is interrupted by the Boglodites, who begin a massive invasion of Earth. They are not extinct, as the ArcNet defense system does along with Agent K. Agent O commands Jay to find the technology of Obadiah Price, who was once imprisoned for life for time travel. Perhaps his son Jeffrey can help. Jay goes to his electronics store and learns that it was Jeffrey who sent the escaped Boris to the year 1969. The agent takes the device to make a time jump, but it turns out that to do so, he will have to literally jump down from a skyscraper in order to gain the necessary speed. Before he does this, Jeffrey warns Jay not to go near or talk to his partner in the past if he wants to save him. As the Boglodite ships flood New York City, Jay flies through time and finds himself in the past. He steals a car and rushes to the amusement park, where Boris committed the first of his series of murders, but arrives too late and meets someone else.
Kay? Kay! Kay! Ah!
Young Kay doesn't hesitate to knock out the armed man. He drags him to the headquarters, where after waking up, Jay meets young O as well. He tries to lie, but flooded with emotions, gives away both himself and his excessive knowledge of the secret Bureau's affairs. On the orders of his boss, he is shoved into a giant memory wiper to turn the suspicious guy into a civilian. In order not to fail the mission, Jay is forced to tell Kay what will happen in the future, and that Boris will have to be killed, not put in prison. This convinces Kay to stop the procedure at the last moment, and together, they set off to search for the Boglodite. After playing bowling with the club owner's head, they find another victim and follow the killer's trail to artist Andy Warhol's indoor club, The Factory, who turns out to be an undercover agent. The party is full of aliens, including Griffin, the last Arcanan in the universe. Representatives of this race are able to see all variants of the future simultaneously. Griffin's planet has been devoured by the Boglodites, and he wants to help prevent the same from happening on Earth.
Earth? We can stop them forever. They'll starve before they reach the next planet.
He anticipates the appearance of Boris, who tries to kill the Arcanan. But Griffin escapes in time, promising that the agents will find him again. In the chaos, Kay and Jay lose all clues and go out to eat some pie, when Kay uncharacteristically reveals to Jay the details of his personal life. He is in love with Agent O. The man himself doesn't understand why he has become so cold and uncooperative in the future. Later, they do actually find Griffin at the stadium, where he shows them his ArcNet invention, which looks like a small amulet. However, Boris manages to kidnap Griffin on his motorcycle before he can hand over the ArcNet to the agents, and a pursuit ensues. Kay and Jay chase the kidnapper through the streets of New York and rescue their new friend, while Boris escapes, thinking that he took the right locket from Griffin, but it actually turns out to be a fake. This is when Boris from the future finds him and insults him for his stupid mistake.
Every mistake I've ever made just waiting to happen.
The Borises tell each other everything they think about each other and move on to execute the plan. Meanwhile, Griffin hands the agents the ArcNet he hid under his hat. All that's left is to get the medallion into outer space, except it's still 1969. The only chance to do it is to send it with the Apollo spacecraft, which is going to the moon. That is why Cape Canaveral was in Boris's case. The departure is only 6 hours away, and now it's Jay who tries to work on his own and get away from Kay to save his life, but only gets punched in the face for doing so. Griffin says they must go together and that there is still a chance to save the agent. However, it's not that simple.
But where there is death, there will always be death.
The trio arrives at the headquarters, where Agent O helps them put on their jetpacks. When they arrive at the destination, the rocket is almost ready to launch.
So glad this isn't one of the times we explode.
Nobody's going to let them into the spaceport, but as soon as Jay gets the wish to brainwash the soldiers with the neuralizer, Griffin informs them that in all successful versions of the future, agents tell the guards the truth about their mission. They are immediately arrested for nonsense about time travel and alien invasion, and brought to the person in command.
Take him to the brig.
You're slipping, Griff.
Sir, if I may.
Griffin shows the colonel something that completely changes his mind. The Arcanan stays behind and before saying goodbye, suggests that Jay should return to the past right after Kay shoots off Boris's arm.
I can never bear to watch this part.
The officer leads Jay and Kay through the tunnels to the elevator that goes up to the rocket's nose, but the Boglodites are already waiting for them there. The guests from the future have a duel on the lower floors, while Kay sneaks upstairs and climbs out onto the bridge, where he is met by biker Boris from the 69. The path to the rocket is blocked, and Kay's leg is hopelessly stuck in the constructions. Boris from the future throws Jay down and takes aim at Kay to finish him off with spikes. But Jay rushes up to him and engages in melee with the outlaw. In a desperate lunge, the agent receives several serious wounds from Boris's shots and takes him down into the abyss with him. They fly down to imminent death. But that was Jay's plan all along. After reaching the right speed, he uses the device to travel back in time for 1 minute. This allows him to repeat his maneuver, this time dodging all of Boris's shots and pushing him off the edge alone. However, there is still the second Boris, who grabs the medallion. But due to his vanity, he quickly loses his arms and falls after his version from the future. Having made the fateful shot, Kay sets the arc net on the rocket and hurries away. But for some reason, Jay is in no hurry to return to the past. The rocket takes off, burning Boris from the future in the flames of the rocket's engine and deploying ArcNet over the Earth. Jay continues following his partner and the Colonel, to whom Kay offers to join the Men in Black agency. When suddenly, Kay gets attacked by Boris from the 69th, who miraculously survived the fall. The Colonel manages to cover the agent with his body, and Kay does not miss the chance to finally take out the scoundrel. Unfortunately, a sharp thorn has pierced the Colonel's heart. He is dead. His little son James gets out of the car nearby and starts looking for his daddy. In the boy's hand is the watch his father gave him, exactly the same as Jay's, who is watching the scene from afar. He realizes that he has just witnessed the death of his own father. Where there was death, there will always be death, just as Griffin predicted. Kay tries to tell little Jay that his father is away on some important business and promises to keep an eye on him, but the boy insists on knowing when his beloved father will return. Kay has no better solution than to erase the boy's memory.
Your daddy is a hero.
My daddy is a hero.
Kay takes the boy with him for a walk along the beach, and Jay returns to the present, where he meets his aging partner at their favorite cafe. He lays out on the table the watch his father gave him, hinting that he has learned everything that has been kept from him.
I just want to say thank you.
Kay knew how things would work out from the very beginning, so he kept an eye on Jay and took him on as his partner. Now, after everything has been revealed, the old agent becomes more smiling and talkative, and the partners leave the cafe together, where Griffin had been watching them.
This is my new favorite moment in human history. Unless this is the one where Kay forgot to leave a tip.
Kay didn't leave a tip indeed, which means a meteorite is headed straight for New York City from outer space. Luckily, Kay comes back and leaves the money, and the meteorite collapses, colliding with a satellite, to which Griffin concludes that was a close one. As always, you'll find the title of the movie in the description of the video. In the meantime, let us know in the comments, do you believe that we are not alone in the universe? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video so that more awesome stories come out as often as possible. Watch an interesting movie in a few minutes without rewind? Easy!
We got a great looking audience tonight.
The Sweet Popcorn channel has a mega convenient format waiting just for you. Short retellings of movies, from auteur films to Hollywood blockbusters. Pick up your unlimited ticket by clicking the subscribe button.